Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shouting Over the News. A surprise episode Shouting Over the News, I know, because we said that this week wouldn't be that, but we play it fast and loose here on Shouting Over Static. So we're going to talk about the news this week, and Hyperlight Drifter next week? I don't know, turns out the summer episode is the hardest one to record. That laughter you can hear there is Jack. How you doing, Jack?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I feel like I am in somewhat partly to blame for the fact that we didn't record it because I was on holiday for 2 weeks. So
Mate, you got to go on holiday. You got to take a holiday.
yeah, I mean, to be fair as well, there are some of us who haven't actually finished Hyperlight Drifter and probably won't actually even attempt to finish it by the time that we get around to recording it. Not naming any names, sure.
Yeah, we may not even be on the episode because they're so bad at. It's not that hard. It's not like it's the hardest game I've ever played.
No. But I
am, of course, as always, your host, Mark. Also, I should throw that out there. I don't think I said that. And quickly before we get down into talk about chore shit, this is obviously our news show. Hence the word news in the title. And we've got a lot of news to talk about this week. So in a lot of ways, maybe it's good that we're putting off Hyperlight Drifter for a week because we've got a lot of news to talk about. Sorry. Yeah, chore's the worst. I don't even know why we invite him on this show.
I don't know, man. It's just three's just such an odd number. Literally.
Yeah, you need 4 people, I guess. You gotta all the best have 4 people. Ghostbusters, 4 people.
Yeah.
The A-Team, 4 people.
What else has 4 people?
I'm sure there are literally hundreds that I'm drawing a blank on. Oh, fuck. Alright. So, shit, as we briefly hinted at there, Gamescom happened. The world's biggest gaming convention takes place in Germany. My understanding is it's an absolute fucking madhouse to go to. And yes, it happened. And as per usual, there were a number of video game announcements. And usually what you get out of Gamescom is a huge amount of third-party stuff. And Microsoft usually does something. But that's about it. You don't usually get... Sony's not usually there. You know?
Yeah.
It is a weird thing because it doesn't get the... It's not like E3. It doesn't have the big first-party draw, apart from Microsoft usually turns up. And almost as if to go perfectly along with that, yeah, we don't have any Sony news really, do we?
Nah, not really. I mean, it is, like you say, one of the... I guess the most understated, gaming sort of convention there is, because you'd think it'd be given, a lot more attention, seeing as it is, the big releases normally come around September, November, that sort of area, coming up to the last quarter of the calendar year. So this is normally where you'd sort of, E3 is where you'd see, oh yeah, we're announcing this game, and then they'll be like, we'll see more at Gamescom. And then you go to Gamescom, and by that time, everyone's sort of forgotten about it, which is a bit of a shame. But, like you say, there is still quite a lot of news. I mean, I haven't really been paying attention to Gamescom that much, but you've got quite a long list of stories and articles.
Yeah, there's a big old list. Before we get into all the fun, nice, easy stuff, we would be remiss if we did not mention the events of Sunday.
Ah, yes.
We don't have much more to say other than it's hearts and minds from all of us. Thoughts and prayers, as much as that's total fucking bullshit, that goes out to
just
to
everyone,
everyone there.
everyone that was
It's
affected, just all of the families of the people who were injured as well, and it's absolutely heartbreaking stuff because we talk about it so much on this show that video gaming really is something that needs to it needs to be something that can bring the community together, and when you have stuff like that happen, it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's it is a reprehensible act from a reprehensible human being, and that's basically all I have to say about it. It's fuck that dude, and absolutely heartbreaking that yet another thing has happened, and yet another shooting has happened in the US. I suppose we should actually say, there was a mass shooting in the US, Jacksonville in Florida, and the reason we're mentioning it here is it happened at a Madden 19 tournament. 3 people dead, a further 11 have been injured. I believe the 3 people who died were actually they were players.
Yeah,
They were players in the tournament. It's just fucking heartbreaking. Yeah, it's a real fucking shame. I don't mean it's always a shame. The fact that it happened to do with video games doesn't make it worse.
yeah,
I don't really have
yeah.
a good coherent thought about it other than just it's fucking sad and bad.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like you say. It's always going to be bad, and the fact that it just happens at one of these things, like we say, gaming is meant to be something that makes you happy. I mean, okay, so yeah, it's just it is just truly an upsetting thing, and
yeah. I mean, you and I love to have a good rage at a video game. We've both mentioned on this very podcast throwing controllers and getting angry, but yeah, it's meant to be a fun thing. It's meant to bring people together. It's meant to be something that everyone enjoys.
Mm.
But you know what? It is. Frankly, it is. And the huge amount of awesome news we've collected over the last week, I think, is proof enough that video games are awesome and do bring things together.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just going to start picking things out of this list and
man.
we'll talk about them, I guess.
Go for it. Like I say, I've not really clued up that much about Gamescom stuff, so just fire away.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll go back and forth from these. We'll just pick ones out of the list. The Grand Tour is getting a video game.
What?
Yeah, there you go. There's a surprising one. The Grand Tour, the Amazon Prime Video TV series starring everyone's favourite ex-Top Gear hosts.
Yep.
They've got a video game. It's being produced by Amazon Game Studios, and I believe the gimmick is it's going to be 13. It's going to be an episodic game, and it's going to be 13 episodes.
Okay.
Around then, it's going to be some number of episodes of the game, and I'm guessing much like each episode in the show has an area and a car theme and stuff. So will the game, and the episodes of the game are going to be released alongside the program. So each week it will be a new episode of the Grand Tour show, and then my guess is going to be a game in which you get to do the same thing.
I mean, that sounds cool. I don't know. I mean, is it just going to be Jeremy Clarkson shouting how my car needs more power and everything needs to be yeah. Because I mean, it's gonna have the name behind it. It's gonna have Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond and James May backing it all the way. So I imagine that will probably get some people in to play it. I don't know how well it's gonna play because I think that there are definitely a lot more better racing games out there at the moment that are probably going to be they're probably going to definitely play twice as well as this game will, but I think this will probably have a bit of character about it.
Yeah, I guess I guess like if you are picking up like Forza and looking at it and you're going, well, what I really need from this is for it to play half as well and have 3 morons talking at me constantly, then my guess is that you're going to love the Grand Tour game. The trailer for it does not make it look particularly excellent.
No, I did just have a quick look at it, and it doesn't look too outstanding.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'd really, you know what, Jack? I don't know who that's being made for.
Yeah,
is my honest opinion there? No idea who that's being made for. Who is the target audience for that?
I guess just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just like people who want like, I guess mainly fans of the show. And I guess like see, I always wondered why they didn't make a Top Gear video game back in the day. But
I wonder.
I guess that's just me, and back like the old school Top Gear, where like before the whole Jeremy Clarkson and producer bust stop thing happened. I think that like those days and the original Top Gear was just so much better than what I've seen of the Grand Tour so far. And I mean, obviously they're trying to like take it away and do something different and move on with their careers, but I just think like it's, for me at least, it's never really going to be the same.
Yeah, I think I know you. I think I can get it. I don't know. I just think that that's a really fucking weird thing, and it's strange that that's being made, and I was just kind of gobsmacked when I saw it pop up. Just what an odd thing. Shit, man. It's just odd. Right, your turn. Give me some news.
So I guess this is like it's sort of related to one of the articles that you've got, but like Windjammers got announced for the Switch, didn't it?
Yes.
Sure, Windjammers got announced.
That was a few weeks ago.
Was it a few weeks ago? Well, I mean, I'm just looking at this article because, I mean, we're both massive fans of Windjammers. You got me into it, and you introduced me to that game in like first year at university, and playing it in your bedroom was just fucking awesome. And apparently they're making a number 2 in 2019.
Mate, it's fucking crazy. They're making Windjammers 2.
That's like when was Windjammers like when was the first one released?
I'm gonna say 1994.
Yeah, fair.
That's my guess. Let's see if we can check that.
So the original Windjammers comes to the Switch on October the 23rd. Is what I'm reading. That's I mean that's like. That's even closer than I would have hoped it have been, so I'm actually really glad with that news on its own. And the fact that they're making a second one is just fucking awesome.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, like the fact that this game, came out 1994, and somehow, against all odds, it's getting a sequel. Well, yeah, next year. That's fucking bizarre, right?
This is definitely like, all that I'm seeing in my head right now is just Windjammers 2, like esports. That's all I can see, because that's exactly what that game's built for, right? Like, you can see that going into the competitive scene so easily.
Yeah, man, for sure.
That's going to be insane.
For sure.
Mate, I need to get my Windjammer skill back up.
Yeah, like that's the that's the crazy thing about it, right? I got lost in my own thoughts there. It's like Windjammers has a huge competitive scene in France.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's the reason that it stayed kind of alive still for the for the amount of time it has been alive, is because it's because it's got this crazy like French tournament scene where it's super popular in France, and so because of that, it's just kind of stayed there ticking away, and then it got big again, and they obviously brought it out to PlayStation 4,
Yeah.
and now it's coming to the Switch, and yeah, they're making a sequel. They're making Windjammers too. I fucking love Windjammers.
Because
Excited.
didn't they make that like what was it called? Disc Jam, was it, on the PS4? Like that sort of 3D like a better upgraded version of it. Well, like it wasn't strictly Windjammers, but it was basically the same thing.
Yes, there was Disc Jam. So that was when they announced that Windjammers was coming back out. Then like Disc Jam also came out, and yeah, it is like a 3D version of it. And it got relatively popular because it was a PlayStation Plus game.
Oh, okay.
So like a lot of people had it for free. I played a fair amount of it. You are correct in saying that it's not quite the same as Windjammers. It's good, but it's not quite Windjammers. And yeah, it wasn't as snappy. Is the thing. Windjammers is so fast and snappy, and like you were just slamming like around the court, and it's so quick. And Disc Jam was a tiny bit more like sluggish. I don't know. That was on a that was just sort of my opinion of it. But I don't know. I'd be excited to see what a Windjammers 2 would be.
Yeah.
At the moment, the trailer they put out is just kind of like some Windjammers anime rather than any real gameplay footage.
I mean, I'd totally watch Windjammers anime. Like, I'd totally like get way too into a guy like a child struggle to become the best like ultimate frisbee player ever, or like battle frisbee, I guess is what it is. And he's just like in his real life, like a real life action film. I feel like that would be like weird, but I'd probably find myself getting way too involved in it. But
I think Windjammers anime that could be cool. I could be into that. There's enough like crazy magic powers and shit in Windjammers.
Exactly,
for
right?
it to make a sick anime.
That would be stupid, man.
Right,
what else? What else happened?
Okay, what else happened? Nvidia have announced what their new graphics cards are.
Is it just
which wasn't a Gamescom
monsters?
event, but happened at the exact same time as Gamescom. It's the 20 series cards. That's what they're calling them. So they've gone from the GTX 10 to the RTX 20, and it's So the significance of RTX is it's the big thing with these cards is something called ray tracing.
Okay.
So it's a graphics card architecture designed specifically for ray tracing, which is a way of accurately simulating light. So this is me trying to piece together my memory of looking this up. So up until now, the kind of way that computers do graphics or do light in video games is they fudge it. They don't really accurately simulate light, because to accurately simulate light is an incredibly incredibly intensive process. But there is a way you can accurately simulate light called ray tracing, where you actually do simulate like beams of light, and it gives you far more realistic shadows and light zones and dark zones and that kind of thing. And it is really cool. Like, you can see comparison videos of it, and it's sweet. But ray tracing is a hugely intensive process. But Nvidia believes here with the RTX cards, the ray tracing cards, that not only are these cards going to be, they claim 50% faster. So like they claim the 2080 is going to be 50% faster than the 1080. So that's obviously that's a big boost in performance there. But then also they got this specialist architecture for doing like realistic light simulations.
Yeah.
which is cool. So I've just sort of been looking at these comparison videos and stuff, and looking at the way it works, and yeah, it looks impressive. It looks like it does light in a cool way, but it's not. It's still incremental, you know.
Yeah.
Like you look at their like Battlefield 5 thing, and you go, "Shit, man! Like those shadows look good." And they've got one for Shadow of the Tomb Raider as well, and it's like these shadows look really, really good, but I don't necessarily. So this is the other side of this big performance jump. The cheapest card is £600.
Oh.
Then it's £800. Then it's £1,200.
Oh man.
So these cards are coming in significantly more expensive than the last gen.
Yeah.
Like the last gen didn't get anywhere near this, but the 2080 Ti, which is obviously like that's a powerful fucking video card, but it looks like you're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, like, when will it stop? When is there going to be a point where they just can't? Is there ever going to be a point where, like, all of these, like, I guess you've got Nvidia and you've got other graphics card producers, I guess, manufacturers. Yeah. Like, is there ever going to come a point where they just like can't make anything look better?
I couldn't tell you, man. Like,
it sounds like every year, or not every year, but certainly like every couple of years, they just start talking about, oh yeah, we've got this shit, and it's going to make like this look better, and then you can have this look better, you can optimize this, do that, and just sounds like some point they're going to hit a wall, right? Like surely some point there's going to be nothing else that they can optimize.
Yeah, like this is it, right? It's so incremental at the moment as well. Like if you think about the way that graphics technology steps up, we've got to a point now where it's the thing that will change everything. The thing that's going to make it, the thing that's going to justify the next step in like graphics tech will be something we can't even like comprehend, right? There's got to be some new revolution in graphics that we can't even imagine. Like, so so here you go. Here's one that still gets me is like video games can't do like cloth simulations very well.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's that the physics of cloth to simulate that is hugely intensive. So like, and things like they couldn't up until these new cards, which come out. And it's worth actually saying these new cards come out you can pre-order them in September, I think.
Okay.
Okay, no, so it's here we go. Yeah, September. The 2080 and the 2080 Ti are expected to ship around September 20th. I think you can pre-order them now. And they were not given a release date for the 2070. Obviously, there's going to be third-party versions of these cards later on, like that's how they worked with the 10 series as well.
Yeah.
But we don't necessarily know what's going on with those at the moment. But yeah, so the things with these cards, and it's all about light, and we can do light really, really well, and that's cool. But from looking at it, personally, I see it more as like a cool but not mind-blowing. But maybe the next I don't want to call it a gimmick, but yeah, because I know what you mean, Jack. It seems like every single year it's like some new little thing that they've improved, but it's never. I think if we're ever going to see another graphics jump like the jump to HD, on the last generation, when that was such a objective like leap in like graphics technology, it's going to have to be something that we just can't even predict, right? Like, it's going to be something that you can't even imagine, some crazy fucking piece of technology, some crazy way of doing things that is beyond our comprehension.
It's just, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, it's great that they're fucking doing it. Like, I love, like, the fact that potentially, like, in a few years' time, I'll be able to have better shit. But it's just insane. Like, there's got to be a point where they just can't improve, and it all just stops. But I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not a graphics card developer. I don't know how hard that shit is. Obviously, they're not gonna like you say, they're not gonna like do a massive jump. I don't think anytime soon, or maybe certainly not until like the next 3 or 4 years. But
I today for the first time I heard someone talking about consumer level 8K TVs. So, like,
oh man,
do with that information what you will.
god damn. Oh god damn. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, man. All right. So, right, what you got?
So my thing, I mentioned it to you just before we started recording, was the bizarre. Like, I guess it's bizarre in a way because you'd never really look at these two people and think, oh yeah, they're going to fight each other. But the boxing match that went on the weekend between KSI and Logan Paul, and the fact that it's like just the amount of viewership that it generated, and the amount of money, and for what was essentially it was only a 6-round fight, and it were 3-minute rounds. So something that I guess with like
what? All right.
Yeah, I guess with like breaks and stuff in between, maybe like the entirety of the event lasted like half an hour. I guess. I mean, you would have had like, I don't know if there was an undercard. I can't imagine there would have been like an undercard for a YouTube fight, but I didn't watch it. It's insane.
Michael Buffer was there.
Yeah, he was there.
Makes it a real boxing match, right?
Yeah, well, like it's not like they don't have, like, between them they don't have enough money already. And I mean, Michael Buffer is just going to do it because he'll get fucking paid regardless. But it's like it's just like, what started as so KSI fought that guy Joe Weller, and he beat him in the Copper Box Arena, like, what's it, like a year ago? And then
about that long ago, wasn't it?
And then after that, obviously there was the whole Logan Paul filming himself in that like Japanese forest, the suicide forest, and like really making like a really shit video about it, and the amount of backlash that he had from that. And then KSI was like, yo, I want to fight you, man, I'm gonna beat you, and all of that shit. And that's essentially how it started. Like, I guess it's like one of those YouTube like beefs that really just blew out of proportion, and they both knew that they had enough of like a following, because like they've both got what, like 20 million subscribers each or something ridiculous like that. And they both knew that they were gonna, like, if they hyped up this fight and got everyone really excited for it, which they did. And I mean, granted, like, these two guys are, they've made their living out of making videos online, and they are both, they both have got business brains. And for them to really capitalize on it, and I think it was something like, I think the total purse for it, I can't quite remember what the exact numbers are, but I think that they were saying that they could each, I don't think it was as much as I thought it was earlier, but I think certainly in the region of about £50 million each, which is just,
that's so much.
It's fucking ridiculous. For like, I mean, again, like I said, like, they have obviously pioneered and they've done so much advertising and stuff behind it, but to think that like X amount of millions of people watched it on, like they were streaming it on their channels live on YouTube, but you had to pay like, I think it was $7.50 to watch it, and I think there was about 500,000 people illegally streamed it on Twitch. and then there was a couple of thousand people in the Manchester arena, and I'm pretty sure that those the ticket, like the cheapest ticket to go and watch it, was about £100. So, like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's just, I don't understand. I don't know, man. Like, they call them social influencers, but that's exactly what they are. It's exactly like, it's become a fucking, like, it is their job. It's what they do for a living. And just to think that, like, who would have thought that, you know, what, YouTube launched, what, 2007? 2008? Was that when YouTube launched?
2007, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good memory.
And to think, like, when it launched, 11 years later, we'd have these, like, at that time, you just thought, oh yeah, it's just somewhere where you can, like, share your thoughts and whatever, you can make videos for fun. And now these guys are just turning it into something that is, it's just insane. It's insane how far, like, the whole, I guess, like, the whole YouTube persona has gone over, like, the last 5 years, let alone since it was created. So I don't know, man. It's just, I just think, I personally think it's ridiculous, but hey ho.
Do you remember early YouTube when they had a limit on how long your videos could be?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Was it like it could have been longer than 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Was it originally?
Yeah, something like that. But
Yeah. So it started in 2005. It was
5.
Actually.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I mean, all that I really remember is just, like, everyone on their fucking, like, Dazzle EasyCat Pros and whatever, fucking recording their, like, 2 frames per second fucking, like, Call of Duty montages back in the day. Just like, what the fuck's going on?
Hand camming it straight off the TV.
Man, those were the days. But yeah, it's just,
mate,
it's just insane.
I don't know. It's fucking YouTube is. I say YouTube. Logan Paul and KSI are all fucking stupid.
Anyway.
Oh, there was an undercard.
There wasn't.
There was.
Oh, okay.
It was.
Weird.
It was Jake Paul and Logan Paul's little brother and KSI's younger brother Deji.
Oh yeah. I remember that being a thing. Was there, like, any other fights on it, or?
No. It was those two, and then Jake, Logan Paul, and KSI. Apparently, after Jake Paul won, he then used his post-fight interview to announce a clothing line and challenge Chris Brown to a boxing match.
What the fuck?
People should go and read Kotaku's summary of this boxing match, because I'm just reading straight from that. But this is very silly.
Fuck's sake, man. Oh man. Okay.
What a mess. What a mess. Yeah, well, you know, 2 idiots have a boxing match. I don't know. KSI seems alright.
It sounds like a really bad setup to a joke, like, you know, like 2 women walk into a bar. It's just like, 2 idiots. 2 idiots have a boxing match. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know how to finish that joke.
2 YouTubers walk into a boxing ring. Jack, there was a fucking ton of release dates that were announced.
Yeah, there were.
Lots of little micro announcements. So, Devil May Cry 5 got a new trailer following up after its fucking sick E3 trailer, and a release date, the 8th of March, 2019.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I really recommend going and checking out just like all of these Devil May Cry trailers, because they're really fucking something, man. this game looks cool.
Yeah,
it
I mean,
looks.
like,
Yeah,
I've
it
always,
looks
I've
like some
always
good shit.
been, I've always been. Oh, like I say, I've been a fan. I think I only played DMC3. I think was the only one that I ever actually like touched. But
I
apart
played
from
the
that,
first one on PS2 and enjoyed it, and
yeah,
then didn't get into the other ones.
yeah. I mean, I've got nothing bad to say about those games. It certainly is like a franchise that I'd love to get back into. So
I just think the trailers for DMC5 have just looked so good. Yeah, I don't know what it is about them. There's just something about the like the style on them. They just look really slick, and they seem to move really well, and like they've got like a good sense of like kind of anime stupidity to them. Yeah, they look cool. They look like a lot of fun. Shenmue 3 has got a release date.
okay, oh, that's
Uh,
interesting.
yeah. So this was so like Shenmue 1 and 2 came out. Shenmue 1 was a beloved Dreamcast game, kind of responsible for. It did a lot of things in a very strange way. It's a very odd game, Shenmue 1, but perhaps more infamous than famous at this point, nonetheless. But it had a sequel, and it was always planned to be like this huge, like 10-part series or whatever. But it never really got there. And I say that because it only made 2 of them. But you may remember a few years ago at the Sony press conference at E3, they announced that they were doing a Kickstarter for Shenmue 3,
Yeah.
and then promptly didn't say anything about it apart from to put out some really bad looking trailers with like no dialogue and just like a bunch of wooden looking faces, and it was just generally a bit shit. But yeah, the significant part here is it's going to be coming out actually, apparently, August 27th, 2019.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is sooner than I expected, I guess. But then, when the fuck was that announcement Kickstarter? Like, Lord knows, it's a bizarre thing. But I think I'm mentioning it because the 2015 they announced the Kickstarter for that. 2015, so 4 years in the making that's been. Yeah, I mention it just because that Kickstarter was so strange. To see Sony up on stage pimping a Kickstarter just seemed just bizarre. Yeah,
Yeah, I
raised
do remember it being
$6.3
like.
million dollars.
I do remember it being really odd at the time, being like, "Hey, look, you guys can like go and back this." Now it's like, what, what?
Yeah, it's just crazy. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, another sick-looking video game from E3, had a really cool gameplay trailer put out, and another release date, which is going to be March the 22nd.
These see, look, like a lot of these games seem like a lot closer than I would have thought they would have been.
Oh, mate, you have no idea. So this dovetails me nicely into my next point, which is let's talk about video games coming out in February and March of next year.
Okay.
Because on February the 22nd, there is going to be released Anthem, Crackdown 3, Days Gone, and Metro Exodus.
Oh, shit, man.
And then in March, there's going to be Devil May Cry 5, Tom Clancy's The Division 2, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
I suppose like I shouldn't really be too surprised by that because like I guess like coming up to the end of the fiscal year, you know, companies will be releasing their big games. So.
Yeah, I guess, but it just seems crazy to me that in
Yeah.
a 1 month span, from February the 22nd to March the 22nd, 7 of this E3's biggest games are coming out.
That's ridiculous.
That's really ridiculous. Now, let's talk about, for comparison, let's just have a little look at like big games coming out in the next few months. Because there's not that many, and I think there's a reason why.
Isn't it
You
just
know,
like,
the
well,
reason.
yeah.
It's a big horse-shaped reason.
Ah, yes. Yes. I understand. I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, I mean,
like that's for so many games to be coming out at the beginning of next year in like such a dense thing, and then in the next few months we've got just running through this. So September, the biggest thing happening in September looks to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then October,
Isn't that just like Call of Duty?
It's Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Red Dead.
Yeah.
And then in November, Hitman, Fallout. December, Just Cause 4. Which, like, that is... That was 7 games. That's 7 games in 4 months. And then 7 games in a month.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, yeah, it goes back to what you were saying, like, a lot of, I guess, like, I don't actually, like, what of those games releasing next year do you reckon will actually, like, maybe compete or try to compete against Red Dead?
What's even in, like, the same genre?
Yeah, I was just trying to think, because like Anthem is definitely like Anthem will have no trouble going up against it. Surely, I mean, obviously they probably just like for EA being EA's sake, they probably definitely just wanted to, tie up the end of their year. But yeah,
but even then, like I don't know if Anthem, because the thing with Red Dead, and I think the reason why, like, after Red Dead comes out, there are no other huge name games. Like, Call of Duty and Battlefield are both coming out before it. Then Red Dead comes out, and then really, in terms of like big budget, hugely publicized games with wide appeal, it's like Just Cause 4 in December, maybe. And even then, probably not.
Yeah.
Nothing that's been pushed as hard and is like getting as much buzz as like something like Anthem, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just crazy. But I think like the thing is, right, Red Dead will sell to people who don't necessarily buy video games. It will sell to people who buy Red Dead.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which I think just means that I don't know, I'm kind of rambling here. I've got a bunch of different thoughts I'm trying to pull together about this, but there's, at least from my perspective and the kind of games I like to play, the next few months, apart from Hitman 2, seem kind of dry. But then looking at the beginning of next year, when there's just like a grip of games, including
Anthem, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is coming out, man. Hey. Don't disrespect that.
And Let's Go Eevee. Come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That too.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm talking shit. Maybe I'm just rambling. But there's something about this holiday season. It just doesn't seem like. Maybe it's not even that. Maybe this holiday season isn't the problem. Maybe I just can't get over the fact that Anthem, Crackdown 3, Days Gone, and Metro Exodus are all coming out on the same day.
Which
maybe
one
that's
do I
actually
buy?
what I want to talk about. Yeah, maybe I don't even give a fuck. Maybe this release season's fine, and I'm just making shit up. Just that's 4 huge games coming out on the same day.
Yeah, man. Like it. It seems like it's like obviously when or like when developers and people like decide to announce their release date for their game, I imagine they don't in advance know when like other games are coming out. But it's just weird that it's sort of all culminated together on the same day.
It's just like that. I mean, I guess you've got Crackdown 3, which is a big Microsoft game, and Days Gone, which is a big Sony game. So they're not really competing. Metro Exodus is like a weird Eastern European atmospheric first-person shooter that seems cool as fuck, but I guess doesn't really play in the same pitch. And then Anthem is obviously like a big third-party online multiplayer game. So maybe it's just that none of them see themselves as direct competitors, but it just seems fucking crazy to me.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It's just, I understand what you're saying. I understand it completely, and I don't know. Again, like I'm sort of doing the thing that you're struggling to do. And that's like I've got a lot of thoughts in my mind, and I'm struggling to put them together because it's like, yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, that's all I can say about it, really.
Just seems weird. I don't know. Jack, have you got a news story to close us out?
So I know that like you're like I guess we're all sort of like all of us on the podcast are sort of kind of annoyed by like Steam doing this, but obviously they launched their like Steam chat thing and they're trying to get people to like really get hyped about Steam chat, and now like over the summer they accidentally launched their Steam TV, which I guess they're like trying to put as like some kind of competitor to like Twitch, but it's I don't like I know that you've got an opinion about it, and I've probably got exactly the same opinion as you in terms of that chat and how essentially what they're doing is, they've looked at what Discord are doing and being like, yo, we should probably do this, guys. Like this, everyone's using Discord. Why don't we just make a chat?
Yeah, like they've got their new like knockoff Discord as their chat interface, and then also they're coupling that with their like knockoff Twitch.
Yeah.
It's very. I wonder how. What am I trying to say? I wonder if Steam is feeling like a little bit of heat because obviously, like Steam isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And Steam isn't threatened. But Steam has had a lot of bad press over the last year or two about the way they're handling Steam Store and people's content and what goes on Steam and how they're going, oh, we're going to do green light. Oh, no, now we're going to do whatever the fuck. Oh, wait, actually, no, now we're going to do, you just pay us $100 and you get to just put your total piece of shit asset flip on the Steam. And now Steam is just full of, like, we've mentioned on this show before, how Steam is just full of, like, bullshit anime games, and it's not necessarily actually like it could do with being curated. And so Steam are kind of feeling some heat over that, and it feels like what Steam is trying to do is fix everything that isn't their store to try and keep people on there.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. Like I don't know.
Especially now, so Discord, I don't know if you heard this, but Discord announced that they are eventually going to open up their own store.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Discord has a launcher built in it that will launch games from all the other launchers. So you can use Discord as your video game one-stop launcher, so you don't have to load up Origin and Steam and GOG or whatever.
Because didn't they like start doing that recently? Like start by putting like little desktop sort of like icons of the games that they know that you've got in your Steam library that you've been playing, and you can just launch it from there.
Yeah, exactly. So, kind of with that in mind, to then couple that with, I don't know, like, I guess it is. It just feels like everyone's trying to get on the digital marketplace train. You know, let's look at my desktop. I've got Steam, GOG, Uplay, Origin, Epic, and Bethesda. All have their own launchers.
Yeah.
Eventually, like Discord is now saying they're going to start signing publishing deals and having like exclusivity windows and stuff. So,
does it work with Bethesda? Like
the Discord launcher?
Yeah. Oh, not.
I don't know, mate.
Well, not
that.
I mean, BattleNet. Sorry, not fucking that stuff. Does it? I don't know.
Oh, the BNet launcher. Maybe. I don't know. I don't actually have the BNet launcher.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, I used to have it, but I don't have it anymore. And I was just wondering, like, I don't know if it would work. I don't know. Just because I know that like, they'd probably be, like, quite touchy about that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know, mate. Yeah. No, what do you think? What do you think about Steam? That's kind of my feeling on it. My feeling on all these Steam updates, Steam TV, and the new community stuff is it just feels like they're trying to fix everything that isn't their totally fucked store in a hope that maybe people won't notice that their store is overflowing with 99 pence DLC packs and anime games. What do you think?
I don't. I think it's very much a Steam kind of thing. Like it's something that I guess like scraping at the bottom of the barrel. Like, how can we improve our service? How can we get our community engaging more? And I guess their Steam TV allows you to rewind it, rewatch all like clips and stuff and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's like I don't know. I feel like the chat option would have been like high up on my list when Steam first launched. I feel like that's something that they probably wanted to work on and actually make it a thing, but and then maybe got distracted too much by trying to make their store the best, and then their store went a bit to shit, and now I think like probably looking back at a list of things that they had planned to do, and now this is one of the ones that they've just stumbled across, and they thought, well, if we're going to make a chat, we might as well have some kind of like live streaming capability, right? Like, why not just do it all at once? So I don't know. I mean, we'll still probably continue to use Discord, like just because I think the interface is a lot better.
Yeah, like I like the Discord interface. I like the group chats that it does. I like the fact that it keeps all that history and stuff.
Yeah.
I know they obviously put group chats into Steam, but I don't feel like it's funny, isn't it? Because like Origin comes out and like Uplay comes out, and you go, well, what reason are Origin and Uplay giving me as a consumer to stop using Steam?
Yeah.
And now Steam's come out with this chat thing, and I'm going, well, what reason is Steam giving me to stop using Discord?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, I can't think
or
of
Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, Twitch has been established for a good few years now. So I think anyone who is on Twitch is still going to stay on Twitch, and I think Twitch has an established community. It has an established streamer base. I mean, obviously, I guess people who perhaps don't want the complex, or it's not the complexity. I guess it's just people who kind of want to keep all of their stuff in the same place at the same time will start using that sort of Steam stuff because they just can't be asked with the hassle of having multiple apps to do multiple things. But I don't know. I mean, Steam hasn't we were discussing this must have been a few weeks back. What was Steam's last game that they actually Valve? What was Valve's last game? And now that they're doing their Dota card game, and I don't know.
Dota, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still just Dota.
Exactly.
God damn it.
It's just...
Fuck Dota. Dota's alright. That, bloody International finished the other day, didn't it?
Yeah.
And some people made a big old pile of money.
Tournament Underdogs OG won this year's Dota 2 International. Okay.
TI8 was...
Jesus.
What?
I don't think that's that doesn't sound like it's is that that's not the purse for it, is it $25 million?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Fuck.
Yeah. I think every year the International sets the new record for the biggest purse.
That's insane.
The winners took home 13 mil, I think. Someone was telling me today at work.
Oh, wow.
11 mil. OG took home 11 mil. PSG LGD took home 4. And Evil Geniuses took home 2.5.
Wow. I mean, even 2.5 million is still a lot. I mean, I guess it's spread across how many people is it? 5? 4?
5-man team plus support staff and seconds. It'll probably be split around 15 people or something, I reckon.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a couple of $100,000 each, which is just fucking ridiculous. Man, I wish I was good at video games.
Even the 17th and 18th place teams got $63,000 each.
I wish I was good at video games. Just, man.
Mate, it's a lot of money. I don't know about you, Jack, but frankly, I want to end the show and watch the Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay reveal that came out yesterday.
Yeah, I mean we haven't covered every bit of news, but covered
nowhere near
a fair whack of it. So I mean, I imagine there's going to be a lull in the coming news episodes, and we can sort of go back and recap some of the stuff that we missed out on. But
yeah, well, yeah, I can't imagine that. Yeah, things will ease off a bit. That tends to be how it goes. So should we say our goodbyes then?
Yeah, man. We've got we've got websites, or are you gonna plug where we put this stuff? That's what normally happens, right?
Yeah, I suppose we could do that. So this has been Shouting Over the News, a particularly rambling and perhaps slightly incoherent episode of Shouting Over the News, but an episode of Shouting Over the News nonetheless.
Definitely incoherent.
Yeah, definitely. I have been Mark. I've been here with Jack. You can find us on iTunes at Shouting Over Static. You can find us on SoundCloud at Shouting Over Static, and you can find us on YouTube at Shouting Over Static. But the channel is called Low Expectations Media, because you can find some other things we've done on there as well. But I wouldn't set your expectations too high. Theoretically, next week will be our fabled Hyperlight Drifter episode, where myself, Jack,
our
and Dylan
July
will talk
game.
about Hyperlight Drifter.
Yeah, our game for July at the end of August. Not even at the end of August, in September.
Our summer game, we'll call it.
Yeah, I suppose that works.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this. I'm going to call it not the best way to get your Gamescom news, but
Brilliant.
we certainly said some stuff in there. Jack, thanks for talking to me for the last hour.
It's been a pleasure, mate, as always.
All right, well, bye.
Bye.